Going to war is an act of enormous courage. There are no guarantees you'll make it home alive, as we've been reminded too often in recent times. Of course, Australia's toll goes well beyond the fatalities. There are also the many soldiers who suffer catastrophic injuries while serving on the front line. They're the ones we don't hear so much about. Now, I've just met a group of return diggers, far from average men, who aren't going to let their broken bodies stop them from representing their country once again. The difference is this time they're hoping to do it on the sporting field rather than the battlefield. 33-year-old Army Sergeant Michael Lydiard is a machine. This likeable bloke has always been driven by physical challenges. The Taliban bomb, which tore that perfect body apart, wasn't going to stop Michael. In fact, sport is a vital part of his recovery from the demons that plague him and so many of our injured diggers. What do you see when you look in the mirror?
A lot of history, guilt, dissatisfaction, and that's something I've got to put up with. That's my burden.
He's a different bloke from the one his wife Cartry fell in love with more than a decade ago.
He was energetic, yeah, lots of energy. So, someone who I hadn't met anyone like that before.
Was that the attraction? Is that what drew you to him?
Probably. And the body.
Hey, where's the sand?
No.
Where's the sand?
The explosion took Michael's right arm and his right eye, along with half his left hand and most of the vision in his left eye. Cartry is a hospital pharmacist. She's used to physical damage, but she was shocked by Michael's emotional scars that run deep and dark.
Do you understand his pain?
Yeah, I know. I've seen him what he was before the injury, and I see what he's, what he has to put up with, or the struggles that he goes through now. I can see,
She understands me better than I understand myself, for crying out loud. My wife has definitely put up with her fair share. She's definitely a heroic person in my life, yeah.
There's been a few times where he said, can you kill me or can you let me die? Or
Has he?
yeah, and when other soldiers have died, sometimes he says, well, that would have been easier. Why did I survive?
What do you say? What do you say to him in those times?
Well, you've got children and you've got a wife to come home to, and you've got lots of other things that you've still got to accomplish, so.
For Michael Lydiard, accomplishments came quite easy. He joined the army as a combat engineer and then turned his hand to bomb disposal, what professional soldiers call the toughest job in the army, and what Hollywood called the hurt locker.
I was really scared. I prayed. I prayed all the time he was away.
Michael's parents, Nancy and John, know all about army life. John's a Vietnam vet, and he knows how deadly bomb defusing can be.
What did you think when he said he was going to join the bomb disposal squad?
You needed bloody certifying.
Did you tell him that?
Oh, I told him that, yeah. I said, you need certifying. Nobody in their right mind would do that type of job.
Well, I tried talking to him, but he said to me, look, Mum, he says, I know what I do in the Army train me. I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to do something stupid. And I just said, well, what if it's something you haven't seen before? He said, Mum, trust me.
These are pictures of Michael, happy and smiling, on the job in Afghanistan. Just the day before, his beloved army life suddenly ended. Do you remember when the bomb went off?
I can physically see the flames, and then it goes black. And then I explain it, I come to when I land on my back. I remember everything of that wounding. I honestly thought I was going to die.
Basically, one complete side of his face was just gone.
There was a knock on the door early in the morning, and I just said, is Michael alive? And he said, yes. And I went, is it good? And he said, no. And I closed the door and I ran down the hallway, and Mum was staying.
Yes.
So I said, Mum, there's been an accident. And I think as long as he was alive, it was okay. But when they couldn't say if he had brain damage or the extent of his injury, that was really hard. But
And yet 3 months later, he's back at work.
Yeah,
What does that tell you about him?
he's stubborn.
Class, Lane 1, South Wales, Michael Lydia.
Stubborn or driven, it's that fierce determination which is why the Defence Department and Australia's sporting officials are steering athletes like Michael towards Paralympic glory.
There'd be nothing better other than serving Australia now, representing it.
As a sportsman, comparable.
Yeah. That's to me what's an Australian or the Anzac Spirit's about. That's to me representing Australia. That's the core of Australia. Getting out and giving things a go.
If you can't be in the army, you'll be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Last year, Michael raced from Fremantle to Rottnest Island, a 21k swim off the West Australian coast. Today he's up in Darwin with lucky number 13 on his back, competing against able-bodied athletes in what's just a bit of a sprint for Michael. It's a 5k swim. With limited vision, all he can see are the splashing feet in front of him. But it's a warm-up for the Paralympic squad.
Look, I'm pretty excited about Mike's chance for Rio. He's got a wonderful background for triathlon.
Chris Nunn is high-performance coach for the Australian team. Is he determined enough, do you think?
Oh, Mike, you've got to question his determination, haven't you? No, look, he's a rare breed as far as that absolute commitment to what he wants to achieve.
We saw that same kind of absolute commitment when 60 Minutes first met Commando Damien Tomlinson last year.
Natural ability, mate. It's natural ability.
Damien lost both of his legs in Afghanistan. He's in Darwin now, playing a supporting role for brothers in arms like Michael as they set their sights on Olympic gold. Can you tell this bloke how to do it?
Oh, no, I think I'm learning all the tricks off him, so.
It was only after he lost his legs that Damo took up snowboarding just for fun.
If it was for a competitive thing, and medal-wise, yeah, I'd do it competitively because I'm a competitor. I love doing that.
Damo knows that if they decide to make snowboarding an official Paralympic sport, which is expected next month, then he's in trouble. Does it scare you that it'd suddenly take your life over?
It would. I mean, they're just that type of guy. I think it would end up becoming one of those strange 100% obsessions.
Liam Haven is another physical competitor with dreams of winning gold in the shot put.
I think at some stage every kid dreams of getting a gold medal in some sort of sport in front of the world.
At 6'2" and 120 kilos, this big West Australian unit was ready-made for the army. He loved being with his soldier mates in Iraq, but only a fortnight before they were due to come home, a landmine blew up in his face. Only 23, Liam is now blind. Do you remember much of the explosion 3 years ago?
I actually remember the whole thing, yeah, because I couldn't see. I thought it was because of the dust from the explosion. And they checked me again by turning the lights on and found that I had blood pouring from my face, and they realised I was in fact quite injured. I got that after Timor.
Outwardly, Liam is still the larrikin he always was. This big bloke wears his positive attitude to life on his sleeve, literally. And he loves to shock people by wearing a brightly coloured fake eye.
If I put a coloured eye in, like it's in there now, the blue colour, it looks normal, but people look at it as a second glance. So
what if I told you it's not blue, it's red?
I'd call you a liar. or I'd call every single other person I've met a liar. I don't know.
Always unpredictable, Liam's now doing a Portuguese language course at Point Cook, with dreams of being an interpreter. But while he laughs a lot, he's also had his struggles.
I did have some bad memories of it, and it did affect my life about a year or so back.
But you seem terrific and open. What are you talking about?
Well, a bit heavy on the alcohol,
right.
A bit of self-medication, mood swings and stuff like that. But that comes with any major trauma. Anyone's going to resort to something like that or it come to that point in their life before they turn themselves around.
You got it off there?
Yep.
And Liam has certainly turned himself around, with a little help from Magenta, who's a kindergarten teacher, and his other great love, music.
He loves this, and it's something that he has the greatest passion about. And for him to be able to do it makes him smile every day. So it's good.
He smiles a lot, doesn't he?
He does.
Your attitude's fantastic, I've got to tell you. How do you approach it now? Do you simply say, look, my life's changed, get on with it?
Pretty much, yeah. Sometimes I feel handicapped with the need to, if I'm in a shopping centre or a place I don't know, I have to grab someone's shoulder or someone's arm, get led around. That kind of does make me feel handicapped a little bit.
Mate, I've got to tell you, you're not handicapped.
Yeah, I'm milking it. Don't tell anyone.
I don't think so.
He's coming.
But it's the what-ifs of army life that are hardest to live with.
Quick, go.
Michael Lydiard still feels guilty because, as an expert, he made the decision to defuse the Taliban bomb instead of destroying it.
Go. I was trying to recover the device to gain forensic evidence and things like that.
So do you think you made a mistake?
Seen how it's impacted on other soldiers, how it's impacted on my family. Yeah, I can say I made a mistake, yeah. I impact on a lot of people's lives. And that bothers me, you know, like,
But you would have a mate who was there who'd agree with you.
Possibly, but you always think that you're meant to be better.
How come he feels guilty?
I don't know. He likes to be perfect. Everything's 110%.
And the frustration and the anger.
He's learned a lot of patience.
Has he?
Yeah.
Townsville's an army world with the base nearby. Michael and Cartry still live there with their two boys, Kyron and Mason. 2-year-old Tearaway Mason was a special gift, born after Michael beat the odds and somehow survived.
When Michael got injured, we said we're going to live as closely to the life that we had planned as we can. And sometimes it's hard, but you know, you need to have a focus or an end point or something to work to. Otherwise, you just end up going around in circles and probably making nothing out of your life.
Michael's now doing a uni course with the help of the Defence Department. He knows it's time to move on, that this is his family now and not the army.
Because I want to try to prove to my kids, regardless of, you know, what has happened to me and what I've strived to be or what I strive to achieve, I want to prove to them you need to succeed with life. So that's why I know I'm trying to move on.
Coming up, the devastating blast wave injuries suffered by our frontline fighters.
The cost is lives.
But why are defence bosses ignoring their pain?
Where's the courage? Where are your values?
That's next on 60 Minutes.